How you doing, Rasmanites? I apologize for the lighting being so kind of bad today. It's because there's no sunlight, and sunlight really helps my cause. As I said, I have very low lighting in my room. Anyway, today we finish Christmas reviews for 2011 as we take a look at the very first Christmas special, animated Christmas special ever done. Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol. Today, on the Razman's Reality. Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol is the very first Christmas special ever done, which, before seeing this Blu-ray, I had never seen the film or didn't know anything about it, so I had no idea that that was the case. But it is. So it was very interesting to see, upon looking at it, how dated this would feel, how well it would hold up, and the film starts out with a really interesting premise. Now, I need to preface this by saying that I've never seen Mr. Magoo, any of the cartoons. So after seeing this, I definitely do want to check out more Magoo, but I've never seen Mr. Magoo at all. So I don't know if this was a way to just establish the character or whatever. I'm assuming it was because of the direction it was chosen, but in the story, it starts out with Mr. Magoo in a car heading to Broadway, because in the film he plays an actor on Broadway playing Scrooge, not Scrooge himself. So I'm guessing, from what little I read in the booklet that I will show you here in a minute, that Magoo was actually a actor to begin with. So that's the way that they made it work for Mr. Magoo, because from everything I know about his backstory, he was a bumbling, fumbling, half-blind old man, and they were afraid that he wouldn't be convincing as Scrooge. So they set it up that way. And I gotta say, for something that is very, very set within the world of a character like this is, I can see where Mickey's Christmas Carol got its inspiration, and more on that in a minute. But for something that is very, very set in a world like this is, I can totally see why Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol was the very first one. Not just because it was the very first one done, rather, but I can totally see why it stands up as a classic. Because it's a very believable story. The animation is very much of the time and very beautifully done. And the most telling thing to me about this adaptation of A Christmas Carol is the music. The music, in particular, the song called Lord's Bright Blessing, is an absolutely unbelievable piece of music. And also the song's called the song called Ringle Ringle, about the coins when they make the jingling sound. And just absolutely tremendous music, and by far some of the best music I've ever seen in a Christmas Carol adaptation. The other thing that really stood out to me about this version was the fact that the Ghost of Christmas Present is seen before the Ghost of Christmas Past. I have never seen that in any interpretation of Christmas Carol, and as far as I know, the book by Charles Dickens even has the Ghost of Christmas Past appear before the Ghost of Christmas Present. So maybe there's more to that backstory. Brad, if you're watching, maybe you can fill me in on why they did that, but I was a little bit surprised by that, but it makes it stand out and makes it very, very unique. Overall, the special itself is absolutely tremendous and still stands up today. For being shot, I think it was 1962 or 1964. So, one of the two. For being shot as early as it was, it really, truly does stand the test of time. The Blu-ray transfer is immaculate, and the sound is immaculate. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. And for something as old as this, it's actually a really rare thing. And the fact that we do have quite a few special features, well, not quite a few, but they're enough to make a difference. You have what are called storyboard stills. I actually think they have another name in the bonus features on this, but what it is stills that show the progress of how something was originally made on pencil, and then shows the difference between the actual final scene. So you have storyboards for quite a few scenes in the film, and then you also have an audio commentary, which was done by individuals who worked on the film, and a man who did a book on Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol. I forget his name, but I'll say it here in a moment, because we're going to take a look at the smaller version of his book, which was included with this set. The disc art on the Blu-ray and DVD is exactly the same as you see on the hard cover slipcover here, so we won't bother actually pulling out the disc in the interest of time. But what we will do is take a look at what makes this a collector's edition, because you get a beautifully restored, autographed still photo by Jim Barakis, the voice of Mr. Magoo. It is a beautifully, beautiful photo, as I just said. Really cool when you get a really rare piece of memorabilia like this. And then, as I previously mentioned, this is a shortened version of the book by Daryl Von Critters. That's his name, Daryl Von Critters. And this book tells you just about everything you could ever want to know about the history of Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol and the painstaking work that went into getting it done. Because this was not an easy task. Because, as I said, it was the first animated Christmas special ever done. So, we'll take a peek inside here. We won't bother showing you the whole thing, because it's basically the same throughout. But we'll try to find a good piece of artwork to look at underneath the writing. Here we go. That one will show you two pieces of artwork there. But yeah, like I said, just a jam-packed book. And this thing tells you so much about the making of the special, and about how Mr. Magoo went through different ownerships, different people owned the rights to his character, about how they had struggles with getting sponsorship, because back in the day, in order to show specials on TV, they had to be sponsored by a corporation. So This tells you just about everything you could ever want to know, and like I said, it's not even the full version, so maybe someday we'll try and pick up the full version just to see what in the world else they could tell you about the making of the special. Sorry for the jarring image shift there. I was in the editing suite and realized that I forgot to finish my story about the Mickey's Christmas Carol and Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol tie-in. Well, since Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol was the first Christmas special ever done animated-wise, and it was also the first special ever done within a world of characters, you can guess you would be a big fan of that. That's right, Walt Disney himself. And Walt Disney actually got on the phone and called the main owner of Mr. Magoo and the main creator of this special and congratulated him and told him that he would have a classic that would absolutely stand the test of time. So how freaking awesome is that? Appreciation from Walt Disney right from the very first airing. He knew you had something special then. And then of course after Walt saw it, that's when he probably decided that he was going to do Mickey's Christmas Carol within his world and his characters. So there you have it. Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol. An amazing special that really stands the test of time and warms the heart. Thank you so much, Brad, for this one and all of these that have been part of the Christmas reviews this year. Everybody have a merriest of Christmas. Tomorrow I will be back to do a special video for a great friend, so you'll see the details behind that tomorrow. But everybody have a Merry Christmas. And as always, this is reality according to the Razman and Razman style. It's not just a catchphrase, but a way of life.